30 quid in here. To be honest with you, I wasn't really planning on fixing this again, if I'm honest, but because it took me 11 quid to get my first board, I just thought to myself, screw it, I might as well give this a little go. I did actually get the red pipe dream on my second board when I was 20 in. Although, to be honest, I kind of wish I had that on my first board, otherwise I would have taken that, because I think that's normally 15, 20 quid anyway, isn't it? But that means I'm not getting dealing. The only thing I've really had of note so far is getting a double deal on my second board when I was 20 in. The thing is, it's not even moving me up onto the super board or anything yet. I've had a tenner, but I've had a £10 cash shot, but no streak as of yet. So yeah, I kind of, I've not found the best time to force this. I'm always a little cautious when I get a double deal board, because I do sometimes wonder if that means it's had an afterboard or it's not long had a mega streak, but the problem was I was already 20 in by the time I got that double deal, which is a bit unfortunate, because to be honest, if I was a tenner or less in, I probably would have gone for it and just taken whatever profit I could out of it, but when you're 11 in your first board, it makes it a bit difficult to go for that, really, when you're after a bit of profit, really. Kind of wish I had that double deal and pipe dream feature on my first board, really, otherwise I would have taken it and be done with it, but here I am on a force. Okay, £15, that's not too bad, is it? 140 in now, though. All red Doctor's Dosh, that's good. It's offering me 15 again. Oh my god, red Cluedo, okay. Perhaps this is more lively than what I thought. Still no streak yet though. It's giving me some very good features though. Still no streak, look. So there's 3 bottom halves. It's not offered me anything positive in terms of cash shots yet either, unfortunately. Oh, really? That's 40 in anyway. Okay, so that will be 55 in after this slot then. To be honest, a lot of time I force these, I don't actually plan to do it, but sometimes I am happy to actually just take a first board and take a deal on whatever. Like, to be fair, I was actually on this last night, I was about 7 in for a deal and took 13 quid, and yeah, I was happy to take the £6 profit last night, to be honest, but Thing it's not offered me. I think is what worries me is that even though it's given me good features, but I haven't had a mega deal. I haven't even had a super board. Yeah. It's kind of weird how these things play differently sometimes though, because only 2 days ago I actually made 80 quid forcing Oliver Twist about, how far is it from here? Nearly 30 miles, the swoon's nearly 30 miles away from here. I actually made 80 quid on Oliver Twist. Literally the first board, 13 in, it gave me a super streak. And then, yeah, in the end I ended up being 70 in for the 150, so I actually made 80 quid. That's probably like my third best ever force on it really. It was just playing with ease, but problem is when you have it that good though. Oh blimey, it survived me a roll even. Crikey. Thing is though, when it like plays that good and that easy, you kind of always hope it's going to be like that, when really it's very rare for it to be left on something that decent or that gagging, to be honest. To be fair though, there has been moments where I've not actually had a streak until about 90 in, and then all of a sudden it's given me like the board not long afterwards. I'm always a bit conscientious now about when I like force Betcoms now though, because it's so easy to like get a really decent first board and think, oh my god, it's gagging, and then all of a sudden it takes like 170 quid to get the mega streak. And it's moments like that which is when you realise you most probably had an afterboard, like somebody's afterboard. Mystery solved. Well, let's face it, it's not the board. Does that mean it's close? I think if it's given a mystery solved, then double deal again. Not had a mega yet though. Oh, it's got 15% battery left. Dead! Yep. Of course. Ah, still double, so it'd be mega. Never mind. Right, morning. So this will be 70 and then... Yeah, to be honest, I don't normally like forcing these when it looks a bit dead to begin with. But, you know, I mean, normally if I'm like 3 or 4 in for a board, I'm happy to take whatever, but when it takes me like over a tenner to get a board, it's moments like those, which is where you kind of feel like you have to go for it to have any chance of making something back, you know. Oh, that's actually my first super board, would you believe? Ooh, plus a tenner. Hey, super streak. At last, it's showing some signs. Okay, at least I know it's doing something anyway. First mega deal. You know, it's kind of weird how different it can be sometimes, you know, like, to be honest, there's been 2 or 3 times where I've forced this before and the first couple of boards have been dead as fuck, and yet I've still managed to be like 120 in for 150 and still somehow making profit on it. So it is possible to still make profit on these when it looks dead to begin with. It's just luck of a draw, really. I see that lasted long. Extra life. So yeah, just a little update whilst I'm here. It is still me, and I am still here with the same name and whatnot, but yeah, last week I actually lost my phone. I was actually out to watch the Liverpool Wolves game last week. Put my phone in my coat pocket, and next thing I knew, when I went to get my coat out of the car, I went to pull it out, got caught against the car door, and yeah, my phone was not in my pocket. So I can only assume it must have like fallen out my coat pocket in whilst it was then. I can only assume it must have stuck out the car door and must have fallen out when I was driving. That's literally the only thing I can think of that could have possibly happened, to be honest. Literally the only thing I can think of that happened, but yeah, next day I had to call my network up and they blocked the SIM card. I've still been able to pick the same name, but even when I like searched up my name on YouTube, nothing came up, so I don't know if that meant my account was lost or not, but I managed to start with the same name and whatnot again anyway. This will be 80 quid in. Go for super board, next board, why not? Not that it might mean anything anyway, but oh, I've actually got start as well. Okay, didn't actually notice that. Oh, another plus 10 up. Red pipe dream again. Oh, super streak again. Okay. Now, I must admit, I've been quite lucky on this machine lately. I've literally had like 5 150s in a row on this, to be honest. Just knew it was looking good. Well, it's 2 super streaks, 75 in. That can't be bad, can it? Meh. Nope, didn't think so. Boing. There we go. Ooh, a pound boost. Get in there. Boom. Deal again. Double deal again. Good bit of double deal. Oh yeah, give me another streak. Oh yeah, there's streak anyway. Ah, screw it, let's go lower. Oh, it's actually doing it. But it doesn't want to give super streak. Hasn't even given me like 15 quid or anything on the cash shots yet. But you know, sometimes they don't anyway, do they? Yeah, if one was going to be a 12, but you want to give a half decent feature. Right, more on. Right, 90 squids in. Thing is as well, I mean this is, to be honest, this is normally the machine I tend to force more than any other, because obviously this is my localist Betcom, shall we say, but you know, I have made a fair bit on this, to be fair, and to be honest, I actually sometimes force this up to twice a week. You know, and it's still quite lively, but I'm amazed by it, to be honest, really, because you know, my old workmate, he tends to force this one every so often as well. I mean, I think me and my old workmate are the only people who probably do force this one, to be honest, which is kind of why I am amazed I do make what I make on this, really. I don't know, it's kind of one of these ones where it has shown life, but it's not really, it's not one of these ones where the cash meter is going up to like 20 plus quid, or it's giving me crappy cash outs. Meh. What did I say? I was 90 in, weren't I? That's not even. Actually, I actually just managed to get a board of my remaining credit, actually. I was preparing to put more in, but yeah, you know, there's been some positive signs throughout this, you know, like the red Cluedo early-ish on, and the Super Street 70 in, and Mega Deal 70 in, but I don't know though, like, but then I've only had one, the thing is there though, but then I've only had like one super board, and I haven't even had a cash shot for 15 quid, or not even had a sleuth meter worth over 15 quid yet, which is always a bit of a worry. Oh, Mega Deal, okay. Right, so to be 100 in. This is what I tend to call danger territory when I'm sort of like going over 100 quid. Because to be honest, I actually genuinely can't remember the last time I had a flat mega streak on this, if I'm honest. I've been really lucky on this. I've literally had like 550s in a row. Right, let's have to... Oh, hang on. Alright, let's see what this does. I'm exactly 100 in. I can't picture this being the board, to be honest. Oh, plus £1, yeah. Definitely no hope there then. Oh, up to 50p, nice one. Not yet. Imagine if it let me slow down like the stop thing with a streak, and then like I could have landed on mega streak. Yeah, like it would have done that. Oh, an extra knife. Gosh. Kind of strange, you know, every force is kind of different really, isn't it? I have to hope this will carry over 150 then, if it's going to go past 100, but it's been past 100 in, but... Yeah, it's definitely ain't it, is it, if it's giving me plus 50p's and whatnot. Kind of one of these things I wish it didn't take me so long to get my first board, otherwise, you know, a lot of my forces is based on how much it actually takes me to get on, to be honest, because it has paid off occasionally. You know, like you know, there's been times where it's taken me 20 quid to get a board, but then I still somehow end up like making profit on it by forcing it. Yep, I have to start breaking up my notes here. Wait a sec. Right, 120 in then. I like to think this can't be far off. I mean, it has been making progress slowly but surely. But it still kind of feels a little dead somewhat, just because the sleuth meter won't go up very high at all. Use. When does it ever like give a board? So as soon as you get like deal next board. Yeah. Thing is, I never really like sort of like doing this sort of thing too long after I've like made big profit on like forcing a Betcom. Like when I was 1,750 on Honor a couple of days ago, and I never really like sort of undoing that sort of profit. No, I'm risking it doing this really, to be honest. Especially when it wasn't really particularly lively. Oh, go tenner. So it wasn't really that lively to begin with, if truth be told. Oh, mystery already, look. Yeah. No hope of being the board then. Double deal again. I'll save the board now. That means it'll probably take me another tenner to get on. Right, 140 in then. Oh, I must admit I'd appreciate it if this was the board now. Well, it's looking alright. Extra life, super board, double dip. It's not flashing though. It's not giving me plus tenors. It's just been very, very, very slow progress. Oh no, there's a plus tenor. This is actually the first time it's gone beyond 20 quid, I think, to be honest. Don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, really, because it makes me wonder if this is just going to progress even slower and slower towards the board or not. Nice little round number to round that off on, isn't it? 30 quid. That's my third plus tenner, right? That's a pretty alright sign, isn't it? Oh, bollocks. Thought that could have been it. No one extra life, but 31 quid. Oh, I really thought that might have been it then, to be honest. I really thought that was going to be the board. It's a shame that. I look really promising then. To be honest with you, it's times like these I wish I'd taken that red pipe dream feature on my second board, but I would have done if it hadn't taken as much as 20 quid for it though. Alright. Well, I had Super Streak 70 yen, so I'd like to think this can't be far off, really. Yeah, only £1, £2. Yeah, that's really not promising. Oh shit, I had a no lose there, never mind. Well, Super Streak again, but it's not Mega Streak, is it? Yeah. It's one of these things where if I'd had like the deal or red pipe dream on my first board, I would have taken it, but when you're so much in for your first board, you kind of have to go for it and hope you're going to get a Mega Streak fairly quickish. It's just a bit worrying how slow it's taken to progress, really. It kind of feels like one of these sort of forces where it's going to be a flat mega streak just because of a slow progression. You know, there's been times where I've been like only 30-40 quid in for these sort of boards, and then it's still taken like over 100 to get the board. It's been very hesitant to give him a streak as well, isn't it? Turning into a longer video than normal, to be honest. Look how hesitant it is to giving me the streaks though. Oh, well there's mega streak. I'm still not going to trust that this is the board though. This does have the board feel. Still feels strange though. Still feels very strange somewhat. Wish I had an extra life just to sort of like give me a bit more security. Like this is the board, I mean. Not really much else they can give me now, to be honest, is there? Other than the arrows and streaks and whatnot. Well, normally if this is a flat, it tends to give a good afterboard. Yeah, there we go. So, not quite sure how much I was in exactly here. I think I was 140 in, but I don't know how much I got in the bank. It does have a flat mega streak feel to it though, to be honest.
Just right, look at that. Oh, thank you.
So yeah, 5 in the bank, so I'm 135 in then. 135 in. You know, I've been very fortunate on this particular machine, to be honest. You know, I've had like 5 150s in a row on this, so I can't imagine it doing me this for a 6th time. Progression was very, very slow on this, which kind of doesn't really give me much confidence as a carry, to be honest. Well, moment of truth. Yes, it is there. Get in there. Oh, he's done it as well. Oh my god, he's done it again. Well, I know obviously people have their different opinions of what Betcoms they prefer to force and whatnot, but for me, as far as the Olivers, Shrewlocks, ECC are concerned, they hardly ever let me down. They hardly let me down at all. So I believe that's 15 up on this. Just about worth the risk in the end. God, I've been getting so lucky on this, to be honest, I really have. The red wheels. Now this never normally gives a decent afterboard, to be honest, when I've had 150. Oof, do I or don't I? Ah. No, should have taken it really, but could be one of these ones where it won't give anything for ages. Ah, screw it. I'm just going to take it. So there going to be more numbers in view, but I can't complain. I'm 15 up, so yeah. Anyway, for the people who did subscribe and watch my videos beforehand, albeit not many, but I do very much appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully you'll be able to find me again. Didn't really want all this change, to be honest, but oh well. Never mind, mate. Right, see you all another time.